Hey, what's going on, Your Charisma team? Nathan Olson here from yourcharisma.com, helping you create your brand your way. On this channel, we do a lot of social media marketing as well as digital marketing tips. So if you have not already subscribed, please subscribe. Today, we're going to be talking about how to start a blog and get 500,000 new website viewers every month. Stay tuned. When it comes to starting your blog, you always want to choose an area that you have interest in, that you have experience in, or that you're passionate about. All too often, I find new bloggers try to go on some sort of vision quest or some type of meditation marathon where they try to find an area or a specific topic that they're truly interested or passionate about. And all too often, there are so many topics within an industry or a particular niche that you really just need to take the first step of getting into that niche, and you'll find areas or certain topics of interest or passion to really fuel your drive and even your content for your blog upcoming in the future. So rather than going on some type of mystical mind bender, you just need to sit down and pick something that you have a little bit of interest or a little bit of passion in, and you'll find areas or topics down the road that truly become sources of invigoration for a lot of your content. It's all about just getting started. Don't get too hung up on what area or what interests you should write about. A lot of people just write personal blogs where they write about all topics that interest them personally. So you can be a little bit flexible at the beginning in order to find out where you truly want to be headed down the road. Now that we've picked our area of interest, it's time to get started. We need a place and location where we can start posting our blog content and driving web traffic. That means we need a domain. Now, when it comes to choosing your domain, you should be going to a hosting service or a domain name service where you can purchase one for cheap. Domains are typically anywhere from $10 to $15. The hosting is really where you're going to be paying some of the upfront cost. When it comes to purchasing a domain name, we personally recommend going to GoDaddy. You can get your domain name, your hosting, and WordPress installed all in one location. It really creates a perfect place for you to start your first website. When it comes to choosing your domain name, you should choose things that are short, simple, and easy to remember. Some of the best blogs are very short and succinct. Think about it. HubSpot.com, Medium.com, Entrepreneur.com, Forbes.com. A lot of these may have started as magazines and have moved their way onto the online space. But for example, HubSpot and Medium and even TechCrunch have all started as online blog platforms that have since exploded into huge blog communities. And when we're trying to build a branded community that is really, truly inspired by your blog, one of the best things to promote branding is an easy to remember name. So when you're thinking of your domain name, try to keep it short, simple, and don't go with domain names like thebestblogyou'veverseen.com or myfitnessjourneyistotallyepic.com. You know, these things are going to be extremely hard for people to remember, and try to avoid spelling things in a very funky or peculiar way. The last thing you want to do is have your domain be Mississippi.com where you use all E's instead of I's. All right, now that we've got our domain and our hosting acquired, it's time that we choose a platform in order to host and stylistically design our blog. Here at Your Charisma, we strongly recommend using WordPress. Although you can use other platforms like Wix or Shopify, WordPress is going to offer the most integrations and it's going to be easier to use over time. With both Wix and Shopify platforms, they're typically better for stagnant or more e-commerce based platforms or businesses. WordPress is used to being altered and changed over time, so when it comes to uploading new blog pieces, it's going to be a lot easier and a lot more capable over time. When it comes to creating your style and design and even your color palette, it's important that you keep it simple and easy to read. All too often I see blogs using color palettes where they'll have black font backed behind a dark background, so the text is almost illegible. It makes it really hard to read, and that's going to throw a lot of people off your blog. In the same fashion that although your cursive writing does look beautiful and it has a very fancy and luxury sense, we can't read it, and a lot of people don't know how to read cursive, so they're gonna jump off your blog. That's why keeping simple font like Sanskrit, Times New Roman, or even Roboto is gonna be some of the easiest ways to keep your users and viewers on page. All right, like any good house foundation, we've taken the steps necessary in order to ensure that we have a great foundation for our blog. We've chosen our area of interest, we've chosen our domain name that is simple and easy to remember, and we've created our stylistic design in a way that's easy to read and simple to communicate with our audience. Now comes for content production. It's important that when you are producing blog content for your target audience, that you're producing content that they're actually looking for. All too often, I see blogs producing content that is simply for the person writing and not for the people reading. And the whole point of a blog is to obviously share your interests and ideas, but it's to share it with other readers and audiences. So if you're creating content that doesn't have any value or isn't really interesting for any topic of your target audience, then you're not gonna have a really compelling or strong blog. So when it comes to finding topics for your target audience, this can be a great place to do a ton of research. You should be looking at specific keywords on keyword platforms like Google Keyword Search. You should be looking at particular Facebook pages through audience insights in order to understand, the demographics, age ranges, and maybe interests of your target audience. Then you should be creating online surveys to send out to the community that you might already have existing in order to understand maybe what they're interested in or they want to learn more about. Becoming an expert and even a value-based writer is going to take some time, so don't be discouraged if some of your blog topics don't take off at first. What's really important is that you're providing value to the audience over time, so never lose track of who you're writing for and what they're interested in. When it comes to creating content for your blog, you should really look into pillar and skyscraper content. Expert bloggers all over the world are using this technique, and that's because it provides a ton of value for its audience and is perfect for SEO. Essentially, what pillar and skyscraper content does is it takes big, broad problems in your industry or niche and creates content and a vertical integration around it. What does that mean exactly? We're taking these broad problems and breaking them into multiple blog post articles that seamlessly flow together. The broad problem should be introduced at the beginning, and then it should be broken down into steps that are each located in a different blog post. Now with skyscraper content and pillar content, there's just a little bit of stylistic design and templates that differentiate the one from the other. Skyscraper method essentially means that we're building one long blog post that is going to essentially be a massive article for our audience. We use anchor tabs in order to make it easily navigatable, but with pillar content, we produce each blog post independently and we link to them separately at the beginning or at the end of the blog post. This is kind of like episodes in your favorite Netflix show. You have to watch all the way through in order to understand what the next one's about. And it creates a seamless style season for your blog post articles that really help bring value to your target audience. Now that we've written our content, we've got it posted to our website, it's time to start driving traffic. Of course, what's a blog without any readers or viewers? So when it comes to posting your first blog post, you should be publishing it not only to your website, but all your social platforms and other ad platforms as well. The more areas you spread your blog to, the more eyes you're gonna have on it, and therefore the more potential readers you're gonna have coming to your blog. If you think of your blog as a city and you only have one street in and out, the amount of traffic that's gonna be coming through is gonna be relatively low. However, if we start building more streets, more pathways and interstates, you'll see that there's gonna be a huge interweb that's gonna come to your blog to be your new readers, and traffic is going to explode. That's because the more avenues you have directing back to your blog, the more chances for readers to stumble upon it. When it comes to driving traffic back to your blog, not only is it important to drive fresh, new traffic to your blog in order to get new readers into your community, but it's important to retain some of those new readers that are really interested in your content. And that's where blog email captures become an essential tool. Of course, your blog is going to be doing all the work of converting them on your expertise, your skills, and your personality. But the blog email capture is going to make sure they come back time and time again. And best of all, when you capture someone's email, every time you post a new blog article, you'll be able to send them a notification so you can get readers on your blog right away. When it comes to creating an email capture, you should always be giving away a little bit of value, or maybe just even asking them, hey, did you enjoy this article? Would you like to hear about the next one? Drop your email here. Because after all, your blog article is the value that you're giving away for free. They've already received something from you for nothing, and so 9 times out of 10, they're gonna drop their email in there, especially if the content is good. All right, we've posted our first blog post. You should be ecstatic. But Rome wasn't built overnight, and empires aren't either. Therefore, when it comes to posting on your blog, you should create a consistent schedule so you can constantly update the architecture of your blog. That means coming in, setting in new pillar foundation blog pieces, and building seamless pieces of content around it. For Your Charisma, we typically post a new blog post almost every single week. So we're putting out 4 pieces of written content every single month. And that seems to do really well for us. Of course, if we had more time and even more resources, we would love to put out a new article every single day. We have so much to talk about, but it takes a lot of time, resources in order to get a really professional blog from 0 to 500,000 views. But don't be discouraged. It's taken us probably 4 years to get up to 500,000 viewers on a regular basis, and that's taken a ton of long nights and hard work. In the beginning, we were maybe getting 100 to 200 viewers on every single post. And now we have blog posts that rank page 1, spot 1 on Google for extremely competitive keywords, bringing in almost 200,000 blog viewers every single month. And you can get here too. Just remember to keep consistent and post continuously. All right, Your Charisma team, that's all for today. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please drop them in the comment section down below. I love answering all of your guys' questions. If you'd like to reach me by email, make sure to send us an email at contact@yourcharisma.com, and I'll catch you in the next video.